Cancer, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your January 2020 monthly shift reading. So we are looking at the shape that you are shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shift looks and feels like along the way here in January. So before we get into cards here, Cancer, I want to talk a little bit about the meditation that came through. As I was sitting with your energy, I actually felt my back, my upper back behind my heart begin to shake. It was like right between my shoulder blades like this, just shaking. And then I kind of saw like wings, like poof, poof, like punching, like popping up out of my back. And interestingly, like I felt like I was sort of embodying you, like embodying your experience. So I felt like you were very tired and very sort of like too heavy to fly on your own. And so it almost felt like this like angel came down and sort of lent you their wings, you know, and then the wings popped out and sort of like carried you off. And then I saw you flying with these wings out of your upper back. And you were still like, you had very little energy, but luckily the wings could carry you and the rest of your body was just kind of like this, but the wings carried you. And I saw this like golden stardust looking stuff, like just sort of like falling as you were flying through the sky, this like dust falling out of you, like trailing out from your like the front of you, you know, like the part that would be like the soft part of a crab, you know, like your soft parts were just sort of like letting this stardust go as these wings were carrying you up, up, up and away somehow. Really interesting. So now listen, I've already pulled cards. I chose to do that this time just to save us time, but also so that I could really sit with the full reading before offering it to you to see what messages were coming through. I just wanted to try it this way this time. But for those of you who really like to see the cards come out as I'm interpreting, that will still happen in the extended reading. Okay, so patrons, no worries. That's still gonna happen for you. Okay, so the shape you are shifting out of in the month of January here, you're shifting out of Five of Swords energy, which is awesome. Okay, it's pretty great to see. Shifting out of Five of Swords energy and you're shifting into Page of Wands energy. So you're really coming into this powerful energy. Notice how the color palettes are completely different, where this is like bland and cold and perhaps drained of life. This is like practically absolutely flaming with vitality and soul fire. Now, what does this shift look like for you? Don't worry, I'm going to get into those energies deeper. I just want to show you this first. Ten of Swords, Chariot, Page of Cups. I love to see your energy here. This is the card that's ruled by Cancer in the tarot. Your energy is right in the center here. And I'm seeing this eclipse, this red moon energy as this Capricorn Cancer eclipse axis that is happening at the end of December here and into the middle of January. That Cancer full moon eclipse is happening on January 10th, at least where I am in the world. So there's something really central here about your energy. We have an ending and a new beginning and forward movement, getting ready to move forward right in between. But so what you're shifting out of right now, here's how I'm seeing this. This is this is a really interesting story that's unfolding. I see the Five of Swords energy as like conflict energy. You can see there's all these swords coming in from all these different angles. We've got two players on the board. Okay. I'm seeing them as the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, the Page of Water and the Page of Fire. Two different elements, water and fire. Same same level, both pages, same energy, different elements. Okay, so here's the two players I'm seeing on the board, Cancer. I'm seeing this. I think this is you, but we'll see. Verdict's out. And here's the two players again. One person is here grasping this sphere and the other is putting their hand in the mix. I'm seeing this hand as your hand, trying to get in and fix something. Wanting to get your hand in the pot to solve a problem or fix the conflict that is going on here. You're thinking that you sticking your nose in this situation or sticking your hand in this situation is going to help matters. I think, in fact, it's just going to make things worse because it's going to get you're going to get burned in that process. And here's something really cool that's coming through that I've never seen in these cards before. I love when that happens. See this big old like broadsword right in the front that's all in black. It's almost like a cutout. I'm seeing it as the missing piece. Seeing it as a cutout in this picture. All of the other swords are very particularly shaded. That one is completely black, as if it's missing in the picture. And then look at this. I hope you can see. I hope it translates. Then we see the Ten of Swords directly following the Five, the conflict and the ending of the conflict. But do you notice the brightest sword in this bunch of 10? It's the exact same sword. Is anyone else seeing this? Look very closely. See that? It's the exact same shape. This big, beautiful, bright sword is the missing piece. And it's also like the directive. There's a directive here that's like, you will stop getting stabbed by this situation, this conflict, this like chaotic situation that seems to really be bringing you mental struggle. I say that because swords are like ruling the air element, which is the mind, okay? It's like the mental conflict will calm if you are able to find this missing piece, and the missing piece is the Ten of Swords. Something needs to come to an end. It's like there's something that needs to be allowed to die here, which is sort of interesting because I saw you like almost like growing angel wings and flying up and allowing this like stardust to kind of trail out of you. So it did almost feel like you're sort of like ascending to heaven. You know, I just want to be super clear. I don't think anybody's literally, this is not literal. It's not talking about literal death here, okay? But what I am talking about is like there is a transcendence that needs to happen. Something definitely needs to come to an end. I think we'll get some more clarity on this in the extended for sure. But something needs to truly come to an end here. And it's like it's somehow also that thing that needs to come to an end is also the missing piece. Trying to figure this out right here with you, Cancer. If the two of you could just figure out what this missing piece is and like let it come to an end, that's gonna bring this conflict to an end. and allow the fighting to finally be over. I think the astro is really helping with this because we're seeing all these, like, we're seeing the moon and like other planets being in alignment. We've got some major astro coming up here in January 2020 between the eclipses and Saturn and Pluto meeting up for the first time in 30 some years. If you're interested in that, follow me on Patreon, where I will be posting lots more about all of that. But, you know, it's like, so the astro, what I'm trying to say is these eclipses, the Cancer Capricorn eclipse axis is helping this BS to come to an end, whatever that is for you, so that you can get ready to move forward now. It's like, whatever this is, I feel this conflict has really been holding you back in some way. And it's like, now it's time for that cycle of constantly getting hurt, sticking your hand in the pot and getting hurt every single time to come to an end officially. And then Cancer, you're able to move forward. It's like, once you are able to find that missing, like, broadsword, which, by the way, like, is, for me, swords are truth. So it's actually like the truth of the matter needs to come to the foreground. That's really what's missing, is the complete bare bones truth of the matter, that once that truth, the final missing truth, is stuck into this situation, it cannot get back up again. And I think that's a really good thing for whatever this is that you're going through, because then it's like, then you're able to harness these, like, these energies inside of you that feel really difficult. They feel like they are difficult for you to deal with, and they feel like they are difficult for others to deal with as well. It's like maybe perhaps opposing parts of your personality that feel kind of hard to wrangle at times. Suddenly, with this realization of truth that helps to bring this ending to a conflict, you've got these parts of yourself more successfully harnessed, and so they can actually help to pull you forward now. And perhaps the eclipses are going to be a big catalyst for you seeing things in a different light. The vehicle that moves you forward now. That moves you forward. And what's moving forward? Honestly, what I'm seeing is a couple. I'm seeing like you returning to your truest self, you know, which is like you as this fish, half human. Going down into your own depths to retrieve these two flowers, to retrieve these two tulips. It's like, I'll be real honest, and I think this is going to come out more in the extended, but what I'm already like very specifically feeling from this situation is like, I am feeling a romantic connection that for some reason keeps going round and round and round in conflict. And it's both of you, you know, it's like, it's partly you, it's partly this person, but this reading is really about you owning your part in it and your role in this, I think, and the ways that you like trying to control the situation or stick your hand in and fix the situation tends to actually make it worse in some way. And so like realizing the truth of your own truth in this whole situation helps it actually, the conflict, come to an end, so that you can then like harness those parts of yourself, the parts that tend to work for you and the parts that you think work against you. But actually, if you harness both of those parts, you can move forward, okay? Harnessing all of your potential to help move you forward in a way that's a little more conscious, a little more wrangled, a little more like, oh, okay, got it. And it is requiring that you shed, that you let some things go, that you surrender in a way. I'm feeling like you kind of need to surrender, and you need to, there's like a certain amount of you giving in this situation that's actually really important, because it's like, what I felt in that meditation was that you needed angel wings to carry you the rest of the way, to help get you the perspective, like literally the height up in the air, to release this like dying stardust, or like this whatever this is that needed to leave you. It's kind of a intense meta reading. I hope you're following. Once you surrender to that truth and you are able to really see things a little more clearly and see your role in things, I think you'll be able to then move forward from a humble place. I'm actually seeing this almost as like you coming back to the Page of Wands person, like you coming to this Page of Wands very humbly, saying like, okay, listen, I've been to my depths, I've been into the cave, and I've been doing some examining, and I'm like seeing things clearly, how the different sides of my personality have been contributing to this situation, or whatever, you know, like I've seen things in a different light. And when I swam down to the depths of my own heart, to the depths of my own intuition and my own caves, my own inner knowing, what I found there was love. What I found there was love. These two beautiful red flowers. And so I come now offering your half of that, your flower back to you. I come in peace. I come with a bit of an apology and a bit of a taking responsibility and owning up to my side of things. And I come and I offer you this, to join with me again in this love. And I think this Page of Wands seems like lit up by it in a good way. Like they're like, yes, yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you. Okay, it's on. And fire and water are back together again. Interesting too how this one is half lion. It looks like half lion, half person. You are half fish, half person. You know, you are both the similar kind of people. You know, it's just you approach things slightly differently. This one approaches things from fire, from, you know, that like fiery, passionate, maybe impulsive, maybe driven, maybe like creative, sexual standpoint. You approach things, and maybe even hot-headed, right? You approach things from a more watery, fluid, intuitive, emotional, inward. You like take things into yourself, into your shell. That's kind of what I'm seeing, and like internalize them. And so you both do things. It's like you're doing the same thing, but you're just doing it from very different angles. And so it's difficult for you to see each other. Now this could be, I want to say this at this point in the reading, this could be talking about someone else in your life, how I've just described it, this like romantic situation or reuniting friendship situation, family. But this could also be you reuniting with your own fire. This could be two sides of the same page. You understand? Page of water, page of fire. This could be both of you. Both parts of you coming back together in harmony and working. These could be the seemingly opposing forces, Cancer, that are now pulling you forward. And I bet that if this is something that is reflecting in your external world and the embodiment of a person for you, that it is also reflected in your inner world as like, when you are able to then embrace these sides of this person again and the sides of yourself, then that means you are also ready to embrace the different sides of yourself to help pull you forward. Okay, so I think it's probably both for a lot of folks here. Allowing these opposing sides of yourself or differing energies within you to be these two swans that you are harnessing and allowing their movements to actually pull you forward now to where you're trying to go. This is the driving force. What an interesting reading, Cancer. Okay, before we take this into an extended, I want to get a postcard from the liminal space for ya. And then I'm going to explain a little bit about a little extra special thing that I'm including in the extended readings for you, since we are entering a new decade. Okay, so what is the oracle guidance here for Cancer in January 2020? Very interesting. The wound and the gift, baby. This is talking about childhood to me. So, you know, mothering energy, we're seeing a mother or like a parent, perhaps someone who has just given birth, holding this newborn. And so that is very Cancer energy, all right? This nurturing energy. It is also, I think, here's the thing. I think this tendency to get in and mother situations, mother, you know, as we've come to use that word, this tendency to get in and want to, your intentions are to help a situation, but sometimes you're getting in and getting your hands in the pot a little too much. It's like that tendency is something that is very natural to you. It's something that's very much within you, and perhaps it also goes all the way back to childhood for you. It's like your tendencies to want to parent other people go back to the ways that you were parented, or goes back to somehow the ways that you experienced being a child. You know, there's like, it's both, it goes back to an old wound for you. And it is both a wound and a gift. You know, it's like this tendency, this thing that feels like it's working against you is actually the thing that's going to pull you forward. It is the wound and the gift, once you can harness it and truly understand it. Very interesting. Okay, Cancer, so now I'm going to take this into an extended reading. So not only am I going to pull clarifying cards to get more specific as to what exactly this situation is talking about, and like what exactly this ending is, what's the conflict, what is the forward motion between these two pages, but I'm also going to end the reading with a 2020 quarterly overview for you. So we're going to look at the first, second, third, and fourth quarters of 2020 on your wheel of the year here. And we're going to get general energies for Cancer for each quarter, and how that, to just paint a general picture of what your year is going to look like. This is sort of a little glimpse into an offering of mine that I absolutely love, called the Wheel of the Year reading. And this is something that you can read about on my website, unseenhandshealing.com. It's all over there. Okay. And in the more in-depth personal Wheel of the Year reading, we would look at one card as the guide for each month out of the year. So 12 all the way around the Wheel of the Year. We would look at your card for the year and your life path card and how they interact with one another through numerology. Lots of other stuff. The details are on my website. So if you like this, the little quarterly preview of 2020 that you get in the extended reading, and you'd like to contact me for a Wheel of the Year reading, looking more in depth at 2020 for you, let me know. Okay, so if the extended is something that you are interested in viewing, you can click the link below, and that will take you over to Patreon. Patreon is a community that I created for folks that have been following my work for some time and are interested in working with me and working with the cards in a deeper way. All right, so if that sounds like you and you'd like to view the extended monthly shift readings, then Patreon is where you can head. Please read the description on the page when you click the link, all right, so that you know how a patronage works, and then you will receive your extended reading in email. Okay, so Cancer, perhaps I'll see you over on Patreon and we can dig into this reading a little deeper, dig into 2020 a little deeper for you. But regardless, thank you so much for joining me here. Happy New Year, Cancer. It helps grow this channel so much if you click that like button, leave me a comment, let me know how things are resonating for you. Share this work and subscribe if that feels good to you. All right, Cancer, take care of yourself. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you soon. This is you, Cancer, I think, coming out of this conflict, owning your part in this, saying, okay, I know the way forward. See how this person is now able to step forward one step at a time. Okay, I see now that the way forward, the way we move forward is if I am able to own my part in this. You know, both of us, like, you need to own your part in this and I need to own my part in this. And then we can move forward out of conflict and towards togetherness. And I especially say, like, you owning your part in this because I felt like the Page of Cups, the Page of Water, was coming through with this like emotional expression of a little bit of an apology, like a little bit of a like, hey,